Good evening, America. Tonight, I have a special topic to discuss: electronic waste, e-waste. When we, fellow citizens, throw away our used electronics, those electronic devices end up in landfills and pollute those landfills with hazardous materials. According to the Geneva Environment Network, quote, the UN defines e-waste as any discarded product with a battery or plug and features toxic and hazardous materials such as mercury that can pose severe risk to human and environmental health, unquote. The Geneva Environment Network also presented this graphic. It illustrates that core regions such as Western Europe, North and North America, and Japan are among the large producers of e-waste, and Western Europe produces especially high quantities per capita. This e-waste is transported into countries such as China and India. Furthermore, in the article, the Geneva Environment Network states that e-waste, quote, is not biodegradable and accumulates in the environment in the soil, air, water, and living things, unquote. This pile here exemplifies how e-waste can accumulate. The accumulation denigrates the surrounding environment and is a hazard to the community's public health. In a recent release, the WHO highlighted the human impacts, emphatically stating, quote, workers aiming to recover valuable metals such as copper and gold are at risk of exposure to over 1,000 harmful substances, including lead, mercury, nickel, bromine flame retardants, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, unquote. They further relayed an account from one disposal site in Ghana. The WHO's account, which is from the same article as previous, reads as follows, quote, a child who eats just one chicken egg from Agbogloshi, a waste site in Ghana, will absorb 220 times the European Food Safety Authority daily limit for intake of chlorinated dioxins, unquote, said Marie-Noëlle Brundris, the lead WHO author on the report. Quote, improper e-waste management is the cause, unquote. Shortly afterwards, the report contains the chilling warning, quote, if they do not act now, its impacts will have a devastating health effect on children and lay a heavy burden on the health sector in the years to come, quote. An article by Renee Cho of the Columbia Climate School placed responsibility on both consumers and manufacturers. Towards the end, Cho states that, quote, the best thing you can do is to resist buying a new device until you really need it. Try to get your old product repaired if possible, and if it can't be fixed, resell or recycle it responsibly, unquote. However, Cho spends most of the article discussing building products better on the right to repair. Repair.org, who advocate for the right to repair, argue, quote, reuse is the best green policy, unquote. They elaborate with, when manufacturers block users from performing repairs, they are preemptively sentencing thousands upon thousands of machines to an early death, unquote. The movement for the right to repair has recently become increasingly prominent in technological circles. One of our regular viewers sent us this video you just saw of how fragile phones can be. Well, Bainbridge Island with the viewer who sent us the video. So why did you film this video?
My 2016 Samsung was incredibly slow. The OS was severely outdated. Many apps wouldn't install, so I decided to use it to demonstrate how fragile modern electronics are.
Did it break?
Oh yes, the screen fell apart once I picked it up.
You said the software is very outdated?
Yes, Samsung released it with a year or two of the software updates, and then abandoned that model.
What should Samsung do?
I believe that all phone brands should offer longer software support. Recent phones get 4 or 5 years from Google or Samsung.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Ultimately, e-waste is one facet of a crisis that affects us all, worldwide. I hope I have illustrated our duty to the earth and our fellow humans, as consumers, activists, citizens. Good night, fellow world citizens.